fourth phase, and when spiritual aspirants enter the final stage, become one with Paramapurusha, certainly there remains no duality in them. They will realize the fact that everything is in him, everything cometh from him, remaineth in him, and goeth back to him. No, there is no question of any duality. Everything becomes theirs, and they become everyone's. So under such circumstances, such persons cannot say, I am the messenger of God. What I say is the way, and those who follow me are the blessed people. Others are the cursed people. No, there cannot remain such a defective idea in such persons. Everything is theirs. But when such an idea is working, there is certainly some defects in them. It is something faulty, something non-new humanistic. Those who think thus are not guided by the spirit of universalism, and it should be understood that they can never attain the supreme goal in life. They are neither apostles nor prophets, nor realized souls. They themselves are following a defective path, not a new humanistic path, and they also explain things wrongly to others. People thus far have obeyed them out of fear, but in fact they have merely confused others. Now the last point is that those who are established in cosmic cognizance, cosmic cognitive principle, certainly do something for the universe both in action and thought. Those who do not do so are either far away from that supreme stance, or have missed that supreme stance in the late hours, that is, just before attaining salvation. If spiritual aspirants accept new humanism from the very first step of their spiritual movements, spiritual approach, then because of their new humanistic approach, the world will have been benefited by them. But in order to attain the goal of salvation, of final emancipation, one will have to accept new humanism. If not at the first step, then as the final course of action, one will have to establish oneself in new humanism, just on the eve of one's final merger with Paramapurusha, maybe for a few moments only. Otherwise it is impossible for one to establish oneself in perfect spirituality and attain Paramapurusha. New humanism is the last word for attaining him. Those who did not accept new humanism from the beginning, who accepted it just before the final stage, also followed a defective path. If new humanism is accepted just before the final state, then the world will have been deprived of those people's service. Perhaps they do not lose anything personally, but there was certainly a collective loss for the whole humanity. Had they really accepted new humanism from the very first step of their spiritual movement, then the trees and plants, the animals and other creatures, all the animate and inanimate worlds, would have benefited immensely. But as they did not accept it in the initial stage, so the world was at a loss, and those who have been declared as being established in pure spirituality, in perfect spirituality, but show no reflection of new humanism in their external dealings, those whose minds are assailed by divisive tendencies, who want to keep one community separate from another, and create confusion in the minds of others in the name of scriptures, it should be clearly understood that what has been declared about those people is not true. If the path one follows is not true, then it is impossible to reach the goal. New humanism is the only way. Human beings will have to accept it today or tomorrow. 1st of January 1983, DMC, Ananda, Nagar.